When I said that I had a reason for being patient, it is because I know that we are all from one family. And if we have a disagreement, no matter how bad it is, it should be resolved. But it has become very clear that this disagreement, there is no headway to it. And for a lot of reasons, there are very, very visible evidence that there is sabotage, deliberate attempt to sabotage this administration. For that reason, we have to move forward.
Yes.
And moving forward, if it means taking decisions that is going to hurt anybody. Let me also say this. You have a big tax. As it is today, in the local parliament, they said the jungle has matured. We will be setting a panel of inquiry to investigate the affair of governance. Even if it's a mistake, by the special grace of God, I'm here today.
Yes. Not a mistake.
God doesn't make mistakes.
At all. Not a mistake.
And let me also appeal to them. Let them continue to make mistakes.
It seems that the fight to gain the full control of the structure of Rivers State has taken a new dimension. It seems FUBARA has now decided to unleash the full instrumentality of the state on its distractors. The governor has lamented that the lawmakers in the State House of Assembly and commissioners were against him because they are loyal to Nyesom Wike and not to the state. He insisted that the lawmakers were non-existent since they decamped to the APC, thereby violating the Electoral Act. He immediately moved to install a new speaker in the person of Okojumbo, who is loyal to him, against Martin Amehule, who is loyal to Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister. The new speaker Okojumbo has immediately moved to commence full legal proceeding against the 25 lawmakers loyal to Nyesom Wike who decamped to the All Progressive Congress. The court has granted their prayers and barred the speakers from parading themselves as lawmakers. The governor of FUBARA has also moved to replace the State Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, Zacchaeus Adogo, who is loyal to Nyesom Wike. He resigned after the governor redeployed him to the Ministry of Special Duties. He has now been replaced by Danagogo Iburoma. As you can see, FUBARA is consolidating his status as the governor of the state. He has now moved into full gear to probe past administration. The governor has instructed a new appointed Commissioner of Justice and Attorney of the state to set up a panel of inquiry to probe past administrators of the state. This means former governor like Peter Odili, Celestine Omeya, Rotimi Amechi, Nyesom Wike will be probed. Great news, right? But I'm not so pleased with this great news. There's a problem here. Let's move further. I don't understand why all the former governors of Rivers State are yet to be probed since the expiration of their tenure, despite widespread corruption in their administration. The case of Rotimi Amechi, who was alleged to have instructed his boys to loot the Rivers State government house dry. We want to talk about the uncompleted project like the Maribon Monorail, the sponsoring of the APC election under President Muhammadu Buhari, or Wike, who was also alleged to have single-handedly sponsored the PDP, bought land and properties in the state, awarded contracts to his cronies. None has been probed so far. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission, the EFCC, was instituted to tackle financial misappropriation from government officials, but it seems like they have derailed from their major objective. Every day you see them parading internet fraudsters, in quotes, on the internet. How many times have you seen them parading politicians who have looted their state dry? The only politicians they seem to go after are those not in the good book of the federal government. The case of Yaya Bello is a good example. Yaya Bello is undergoing public and media trial simply because he was bold enough to contest the APC primary against Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2022. Let me give you a clearer picture of what I'm saying. Prior to the 2023 general election, the EFCC declared the Accountant General of Rivers State under Nyesom Wike wanted for 435 billion naira fraud. The State Accountant General and 4 other Rivers State government officials were suspected of being involved in the billion naira fraud. criminal conspiracy, money laundering, misappropriation of public funds, and abuse of office. EFCC moved to arrest the Accountant General in Rivers State Airport was thwarted by security forces attached to him. I carefully did not mention the name of the Accountant General to keep you guessing. That Accountant General is similar to FUBARA, the current governor of Rivers State. Yes, you heard that right. I hope you're not surprised that someone accused by the EFCC of such monumental fraud is now the governor. Don't be, because this is Nigeria. What you should be wondering is how can such monumental fraud has gone on without the notice of the governor, who is the chief executive officer of the state. You know that's not possible. 435 billion naira is not something that would leave the state without the chief executive officer of the state, who is the governor's knowledge. This brings to the reason why Wike was bent on making FUBARA the governor. Just like Yahaya Bello, who installed Usman Ododo as governor of Kogi State to cover his track, is the same reason Wike installed FUBARA. Yahaya attempted arrest by the EFCC was thwarted by the Kogi State governor. It's so unfortunate that most politicians in Nigeria go into office to enrich their pocket. At the expiration of their tenure in office, they install Stooge who will cover their track. We saw what happened with Godswill Akpabio after he left office and installed Emmanuel Udom as a successor. Large sum of money was traced to his house. The Akwa Ibom state government covered up for him, saying that the money belonged to the state government. What was state fund doing in the house of the past governor? When Godswill Akpabio fell out with Emmanuel Udom, his political godson, EFCC revisited the case and he was tried. The case was swept under the carpet the moment he joined the APC. Till date, the case of fraud against Godswill Akpabio has been closed. While in the EFCC revisited the case of FUBARA and the state government officials in Rivers State who were declared wanted for fraud. FUBARA is under immunity, right? What happened to others? What about Nyesom Wike? Why is no one talking about him? Because there is no how that large scale of fraud will occur in his government without his knowledge. Oh, Wike is untouchable as a minister under Tinubu. He's a sacred cow, right? What EFCC does is selective trial. This is not the best way to fight corruption. The EFCC should be working for the overall interests of the country, not serving the political interests of the government in power. Again, there exists legislative arm of government to check the excesses of the executive. That is why you have State House of Assembly at the state level to checkmate the excesses of the governor and the state officials, as well as the National Assembly to checkmate the excesses of the president and other government officials in the national level. These various arms of government should be independent, even though they should work in synergy for the overall benefit of the country. But what you have in Nigeria today is this legislative arm playing allegiance to the governor and the president. For instance, you saw how the floor of the National Assembly was desecrated by Akpabio and co, singing "On Your Mandate We Shall Stand" to Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he came to present the budget to the floor of the National Assembly.
Distinguished colleagues and honorable members, let us at this point welcome the President, a man with track record, an alumnus of the National Assembly, to present his budget estimates. Can we give him a resounding applause?
What a level of rascality. That these men are still serving in the National Assembly shows that we are not a serious nation. This kind of a thing will never happen in a functional system. Their allegiance is to the people of Nigeria that voted them there to represent them, not to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They should be standing on the mandate of the people of Nigeria, not standing on the mandate of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is why you see presidents borrowing recklessly and carrying out projects without impact assessment, because the National Assembly is not checkmating the executive. Let's not even forget the Speaker of the House of the Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, was even bold to tell President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that all his bills get speedy passage without dissenting views. That's a recipe for disaster. In the state level, lawmakers in the State House of Assembly are loyal to the governor because they are from the same party. In the case of Rivers State, Wike boasted to have bought forms and funded a campaign of the lawmakers, including the governor, in the State House of Assembly. He ensured they won the election. That's why you see 27 lawmakers are loyal to him rather than being loyal to the governor of the state. With this set of people, the governor will do anything and go away with it because there is no arm to checkmate him. In Abia State, for instance, Governor Okezie Ikpeazu budgeted 10 billion naira for an airport. The airport was not built after being approved by the state lawmakers. He has left office and is made to get away with it. He's now saying that the airport money was budgeted to road projects in the state. This would have been averted if the lawmakers were up and running in their responsibility of checkmating the excesses of the executive. It's obvious we are running a large government, wasting scarce resources, sponsoring government agencies like EFCC, ICPC, and numerous politicians. Are you shocked that I mentioned ICPC? The Independent Corrupt Practice and Other Related Offense Commission seems to have gone defunct. They are non-existent in their workings, yet they got part of the national budget. Since the state and the National Assembly seems to be docile and loyal to the governing principle, then it's time to revamp it. Nigeria can't afford to be wasting billions on representatives who are consigned to representing their stomach only. We need to strengthen our institution. The only way Buhari could go away with the borrowing of trillions of naira that ended up in private pocket is because those who were supposed to checkmate him were pledging allegiance to him. If this is allowed to continue, then these people will sell off this country. Kudos to Governor FUBARA for setting up a panel of inquiry to probe past administration. I hope this is not a case of witch hunt. Everything should be done properly and in the eye of the law. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.